your duck ride. Okay, 2 quick rules we have to go through today.
That duck, we need to go further.
2 quick rules. First one is that there's no smoking. Second one is that we're on the land portion of the tour today. Make sure that you guys keep everything inside these green beans right here, okay? Alright, with that we can head out.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome aboard the amphibious duck Luzon. My name is Todd, and the co-pilot's name is Chad, and we're going to be your personal pilot and guide for the next 1 hour as we embark on an 8.5-mile journey that is half on land and the other half on water. And now about 1/3 of what I'm going to tell you today is going to be Wisconsin historical fact. The other third will be true Winnebago Indian legend and folklore. And the other third, well, we're just going to call it good old-fashioned American hogwash. But the fun part is you get to decide which is which. Now our first 40 acres of the tour today will come up on both sides of the dock. You're going to notice these hand-carved Vermont granite statues. Now these granite statues once did decorate the Chicago Motor Train building until 1932. Now that is when the building was destroyed by fire. And now they were later then purchased by Mrs. Helen Robb to decorate her home of Dawn Manor. Now please keep Helen Robb and Dawn Manor in mind because I'm going to tell you more about them later on in the tour. Different varieties of ferns. Ferns such as the fragrant fern, the cinnamon fern, the erupted fern, the confused fern, and a very rarely seen invisible fern. Now you guys may have noticed somewhat of a climate change down here in Ferndale, and that's because these tall trees above us do block the sunlight, and these sandstone cliffs on the outside collect moisture. And now these two items combined act as its own natural air conditioning effect down here, which is the perfect growing environment for these ferns to grow in. And now this is Ferndale.
Water, and that's what we're going to plunge into. We call that the Wisconsin River. Now this one must put out your life jackets, which are directly located above your heads. Now if something were to happen today, for some reason or another, the duck wants to take on water, those life jackets will go on sale for a low, low price of $15.95.
What do you say?
Alright, we now have officially become a boat. A float. Well, I most certainly hope so. Now, like I said, this is the Wisconsin River, and the Wisconsin River is known as one of the hardest working rivers in the nation. And now that is because the Wisconsin River is the home of 27 different hydroelectric dams. And these hydroelectric dams do provide electricity for all 550,000 residents here in the state of Wisconsin. Now, the Wisconsin River starts at the Wisconsin-Michigan border, and then flows 430 miles diagonally across the state of Wisconsin before it dumps off into the Mississippi River by Prairie du Chien. climbed out on top of Pulpit Rock. Well, now, once again, the preacher gave a sermon, and as usual, the Indians fell asleep, and they did drift down the river. So the preacher thought to himself, well, he was just going to have to find some way to kind of liven up his sermon a little bit. So he did hire the piano player to come out on top of Pulpit Rock. Well, once again, the preacher gave a sermon, and as usual, the Indians fell asleep. So the preacher and the bartender played a little bit of music, while the bartender thought he was back in the saloon again. And he started playing some of the loudest, most funkiest music that you ever did hear. Well, the preacher got so mad that he started jumping up and down on top of Pulpit Rock, and as you can see, he did split it in half. Well, he then grabbed that bartender by the scruff of the neck and threw it into the middle of the river, where he was never heard from again. And then with one giant shove, he did push that piano right up the side of Pulpit Rock, where it does for us today. Well, it's right up against the rock, and his keyboard's facing the sky. Now, do you believe after all these years that piano there still does play music today? and I was kidding back there. And now don't worry if you did get wet. Like I did say, this is artificial Lake Delton, and that is artificial water. So therefore, you're really not even wet. Now today we do call artificial Lake Delton recreational lake, and it is because it is a home of many recreational sports, such as boating, skiing, jet skiing, parasailing, skydiving, duck diving, and it's also the home of the Tommy Marlin Ski, Sky, and Stage Show. Off to the right-hand side of the dock, you are going to see the huge drop-off that I was talking to you about. And that's where our Dr. Henry still speeds up to 170 miles an hour. But now you guys have nothing to fear, because here at the Wisconsin docks we are very safety cautious. And coming up off to the right, you are going to see this heavy steel mesh barricade that we did install for your protection. And now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hey, that's only chicken wire. But the man at the hardware store did assure us that if it can hold back a chicken, it could most certainly hold back a dog. You know, we're telling about Lake Liddell's. Now, Lake Liddell's is run by Mr. Herman Breitenbach for the sole purpose of breeding mosquitoes.
Yep, good eye, good eye.
They're all back there, over here.
Where?
Here, back in the pond.
Now coming up straight ahead of the dock, you guys here will notice 3 steel beams. And those 3 steel beams there is the home of the rookie duck driving training grounds. Now each year your boss does bring all the rookie drivers out here, and what he does is he puts roller skates on your feet, blindfolds you, and then puts 5 marbles in your mouth. And now each time you do successfully skate across those beams, you do get to spit out a marble. And then once you've completely lost all your marbles, you then become a duck driver.
fullness.
Yeah. Sort of way to store it.
Can't we go to a restaurant?
Because I want to.
That's nice.
Out of the way.
Lethal Weapon 2. That was right there.
I'll let you give me it up too.
Hope you made a wish.
The little cake is so short.
The little cakes are good people. Cool. Mom,
Well, let's see, your birthday is March 21st, 1987, Patty.
So let me see, she's...
We gotta get that
I don't have
changed.
enough fingers.
So how old are you, Patty?
Just give them the woman's prerogative.
Let's put it this way. I'm pretty dang old, and you're older than me.
Thank you, Terry.
So I could have been right, 25.
Oh, it's a hat.
So,
It says UCLA on it.
Where he
And it's
wishes
a green
he's gonna
hood.
go. Where he wishes he's
I'll get
gonna
there
go.
before you do.
Oh, you wish, huh? Yeah, you just see, buddy.
I'll get there before you do.
It's happy birthday, Italian.
Italian.
We'll start passing them around here.
Jennifer.
Pass them on there.
Well, let's get
Your Marty Stewart song. Your Marty Stewart song.
No, Bonnie.
Oh, Barney.
what? Where?
I love you. Love me. I love me to me.
This is Madison. Where's Southtown?
Oh, it does.
Southtown's over by the, by Roger Simpson.
Sunburn.
near the go-kart track.
Oh, it's pretty good.
There's green. Oh, stickers. Where? You haven't done that.
Stickers, guys. Stickers.
Wonderful birthday.
Yeah.
My love. Stickers.
13.
Oh,
Oh,
big egg.
I tried to find ducks, but all they had were cows or pigs, and I knew you didn't like cows that
I'll go with my geese.
I put soap in it for you, too.
Huh?
I put soap in it for you.
Oh, it's got so much.
It comes equipped with soap.
Oh, isn't that cute?
I don't have cars.
That's nice.
I only have geese and cows.
So make a nice change.
There should be a little heart magnet in there, too. It must be-
Yes.
My birthday.
Thank you.
That's pretty. Very nice.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Well,
No, I'll love you, Mom. No, I'll love you.
none of your business.
Hey, this year,
Mother.
Patty, I think this year we start counting backwards.
Right. Right. Nobody.
Very, very nice.
I've got so old and senile, I can't remember.
There's 9.
But the kids start calculating for me.
They keep track for you.
It's they always add a couple of years, so I have to. No, that don't sound right.
Come out here and I turned to instant steam.
I know.
Fogged up the lens.
I stuck my hand when I put that book back in after we came back from the convention over there. I stuck my hand in, put the book in the door there, and then I pulled one and watched it spin it up on the outside. Oh, that's it.
bigger and brighter opportunities.
Nothing in the immediate plans.
Never know.
Right turn.
Just transfer back to California.
Let's hope not, huh? Yeah, at least not the LA area. Right now.
My luck would be needles.
Well, that's got to be better than.
Imagine it being like this all the time.
No, but it's dry.
The left lane is just there on the left past this street.
This church up here?
Uh-huh.
That's pretty.
People thought when I was going up there was going to be a shopping mall.
It's big, huh?
It's big.
Lots of air
There's
conditioning.
a driveway, yeah. Plenty of air, AC.
Don't do that with the blinds.
That's your church?
That's ours.
Well, we don't own it or nothing.
Not our, not
Not ours.
Don't you wish?
not our church.
Don't you wish?
I don't think I'd want to own a church.
It's God's church.
Yeah.
All I know, that's a lot of grass to cut.
Yeah, lots.
You better have a big John Deere.
They do.
Yeah, they got a
They got a ride.
double deck riding mower.
Church. Just park along.
Let me see.
Probably not. Probably not. I tell you what, that is real handy in the wintertime because the ice doesn't heat that. Our first Sunday here, racer slipped on the ice right on the sidewalk.
Boom, huh?
Yep.
We'll just park right here and they'll just think.
I wonder whose baby is still in the nursery if they got the number sitting up on the sign.
Each parent gets a
Fairly new,
number.
they built it just a couple years ago.
They moved in at 91, the end of 91.
You got a problem with your kid, you
Well, that's where we sit when we put in the fire. And that's the balcony.
Jennifer, just put them back.
to wipe your face off when you do that. The prices will not be what it used to be. What they did was just pull off the cameras.
These side rooms are crying rooms.
What's a cry room?
All the Jews for Jesus are coming.
When you have to have your baby with you.
Yeah,
Oh.
your baby needs to be,
It's when you get these.
These
No
things
ATMs.
here, you slide and pose and makes 3 different rooms.
when we first came here, they had only,
Jennifer.
they had just plywood things hanging from there by it
Yeah.
off. They just built the place so we could
Beautiful.
take it by ourselves.
Yeah, it's pretty.
They got a kitchen there and a kitchen on the other side. This is where we have our men's breakfasts. Works out real good. They called while I was gone.
Oh, thank you.
Smile big. Still waiting for the rest of the group to come out.
That's it, huh?
They'll be overjoyed.
The bathroom is idiot-proof. It has a big old sign, how to wash your hands, all the different steps.
Just in case you didn't know.
Just in case you're an idiot, you don't.
Oh, the women's bathroom.
Isn't it lovely?
Lovely.
Jennifer said that the signs were idiot-proof on how to wash your hands. That even
Told you how
people
to-
with blonde roots could understand it.
Let's have the hands with suds on them, one like this.
Yeah, all the different steps, step by step.
I was gonna say if it was an Indian country, I could understand that, but they must have known.
Gotta be. This is triple pane here.
Don't push against it. My goodness.
12-inch walls
Yeah.
or 8-inch walls. 8-inch, it looks like. Huh?
We didn't get to see the high schools because she didn't know high school was time. You go in there and look at all this stuff?
My ancient faith teaches me that no man is good enough to govern another man without that other's consent. Our Declaration of Independence says, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights." I get this feeling every time I come to New Salem. It's like something happened here that can't be quite explained. Something happened to Abraham Lincoln. The people who lived in New Salem and knew Lincoln had a lot of tales. And they don't all agree. Maybe we'll never know for sure, but I have some theories. Whatever it was that changed Lincoln, it started right here, at the mill, originally built by John Cameron and James Rutledge back in 1829. One day Lincoln came down the Sangamon River on a flatboat on his way to New Orleans. One woman who saw him said it was 1831.
About the middle of April, and water had dropped so much their boat couldn't clear the mill then. It got hung up and started taking on water at the stern. The first time I saw Lincoln, he was standing on that dam trying to pry the boat off. He had on a pair of blue jean breeches rolled up to his knees, a hickory shirt, and a buckeye chip hat. And he was just standing there, holding a long pole.
Some say Lincoln got the boat off the dam without losing any of the cargo. Some say he didn't. I like to think he did, and then floated on down the river with a satisfied grin on his face. Why did he come back to live in New Salem? Probably because Denton Offutt, the man who owned the flatboat, also opened a store in New Salem and offered Lincoln a steady job. Some say Offutt was a clear-headed man of affairs. Others claim he was rattle-brained and reckless. Either way, he was a colorful character, one of the many who lived in New Salem. They were drawn here by the commercial opportunities of the frontier boom. When Lincoln arrived, he slept in the back of Offutt's store. He did whatever odd jobs there were for him. That's how New Salem became Lincoln's first permanent home away from his pioneer family. The log buildings you see here now were rebuilt on the foundations laid by the original settlers. He was 22 years old, big, strong, full of ambition. Some say he didn't have any idea what he would do with that ambition. What happened to change that? Well, life sometimes has a way of teaching us what we should do. Like the story of Lincoln's fight with Jack Armstrong. They say that back then it was necessary to be equal parts of horse and navigator, and to be able to vanquish one's weight in wildcats, like the Clary's Grove boys. They were the protectors and the scourge of the whole countryside. As soon as Lincoln settled in at New Salem, the boys decided their leader, Jack Armstrong, would challenge Lincoln to a wrestling match. When Armstrong started getting the worst of it, his fellow boys joined in. Lincoln refused to go on. Said he'd wrestle them fairly, run a foot race, or if any of them wanted to fight, he'd be happy to thrash them one at a time. And Lincoln looked every word he said. None of the boys saw fit to accept the offer. Jack Armstrong called the match a draw. Lincoln had won over. That fight may have been one of the most important victories of Lincoln's life. It won him respect. And winning the respect of other people was one of the guiding principles of Lincoln's life. Maybe that's what set his course on politics. An Indian fight broke out in Illinois, the Black Hawk War. Governor Reynolds called for troops, and Lincoln volunteered along with other New Salem men, including Jack Armstrong and the Clary's Grove boys. To Abe's surprise, they elected him company captain. Lincoln later wrote that being elected captain by his fellow men gave him more satisfaction than any of his later successes. As soon as he was discharged from the military, he made his first bid for the Illinois state legislature. Every man is said to have his peculiar ambition. Whether it be true or not, I can say for one that I have no other so great as that of being truly esteemed of my fellow men, by rendering myself worthy of their esteem. How far I shall succeed in gratifying this ambition is yet to be developed. Lincoln lost the election. For a while after that, he seems to have lost his way. He came back to New Salem to try to figure out what to do next. Somehow he had to make a living. It looks as though he just started trying things. First, there was the store. He went into business with William Barry,
one of the local minister's boys. They bought an old stock of goods on credit, and then they bought a new building on credit and moved right next to Sam Hill's store. And Sam Hill was known to be a shrewd businessman, and he had good connections in St. Louis. Lincoln had plenty of wit, which his customers enjoyed, but wit won't keep you in business. So while Sam Hill sat over there making a fat profit, Lincoln and Barry sat over here and did nothing but go deeper and deeper in debt.
Lincoln once said the store just winked out. So he tried some other things. He was appointed postmaster. He really liked that job because it gave him the chance to read all the newspapers that came through the post office. He also got himself appointed deputy county surveyor. Lincoln didn't know a thing about surveying, but that didn't stop him. He got himself a compass and chain, studied Flint and Gibson a little, and to quote Lincoln, he went at it. That's pretty much the way he did everything. He just went at it. The fight with Jack Armstrong, his first campaign, the store. But maybe that wasn't so good. After all, he lost the election and the store failed. Then the sheriff auctioned off Lincoln's surveying instruments, along with his horse and saddle, to pay the delinquent business debts. But a man by the name of James Short, a friend of Lincoln's, bought the goods and returned them. It seems that Lincoln was achieving his ambition after all, to gain the respect of his fellow men. I've read a lot of stories that say Lincoln never forgot his friends in New Salem. He grew beyond them, but never away from them. And he never forgot the lesson. There is both good and bad in everything that happens. You have to work hard to bring about the most good. There are few things wholly evil or wholly good. Almost everything, especially of governmental policy, is an inseparable compound of the two. So that our best judgment... When I think of speeches like that one, so full of depth and dignity, it's hard to believe they come from the same uncouth country boy who lived in New Salem. The boy whose pant legs are always 6 inches too short. The boy whose entire formal education amounted to less than a year. Deep inside, Abraham Lincoln must have been changing. I suspect that all the reading had something to do with it. Lincoln read everything he could get his hands on. Newspapers, pamphlets, letters, books. He once walked 8 miles to borrow a textbook on English grammar. Then he began to read books about law. Lincoln had thought of studying law before, but he was afraid he couldn't do it because of his lack of education. And once he finally started, Lincoln took to the law with a passion. He would sit in the shade day in and day out, reading. A lot of people in New Salem just didn't understand. They thought Lincoln had just gotten lazy. But others realized the value of Lincoln's new knowledge. They hired him to draw up wills, simple contracts, and such. Possibly it was his desire to be a lawyer that prompted Lincoln to join the New Salem Debating Club, to polish his public speaking. There's this wonderful letter by R.B. Rutledge that describes Lincoln's first speech.
Okay, folks, our first speaker is Abe Lincoln, who's going to discuss what...
As he rose to speak, his tall frame towered above the little assembly. Both hands were thrust down deep in the pockets of his pantaloons. A perceptible smile at once lit up the faces of the audience, for all anticipated the relation of some humorous story. But he opened up the discussion in splendid style, to the infinite astonishment of his friends. He pursued the question with reason and argument so pithy and forcible that all were amazed.
Maybe that's when Lincoln decided to give politics another try.
If elected, I shall consider the whole people...
When election time came in 1834, Lincoln made his second run for the legislature.
While acting as your representative,
This time, the people were ready for Lincoln. He won a seat in the Illinois House of Representatives and began the career that would lead to the presidency. He had come to New Salem as directionless as a piece of driftwood. 6 years later, he left as a lawyer and a statesman. What changed him? His victories, his failure, his friendships. Lincoln left New Salem in 1837. By 1840, the whole village was pretty well deserted. Almost as if the village rose up out of the wilderness to meet Lincoln, and then faded away again once he was gone. Somehow this place changed the man and changed the course of history. Whatever happened to Lincoln in New Salem, you can almost hear its echo. Fellow countrymen, fondly do we hope, fervently do we pray that this mighty scourge of war may speedily pass away. With malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right, as God gives us to see the right. Take a long stroll through the village. Listen. Watch. Let your imagination carry you back. Back to the time when Abraham Lincoln walked in this very place.
Since there's a gift shop. Huh?
No, ya va yo solo.
In 1922, the building was located in Petersburg and returned to its original site as confirmed by Rachel. This is okay, guys.
Come on, let's keep looking.
What is that, tar?
What? Yeah. What do they eat?
Yeah. You know, 50 and 50.
Okay. I got Nikon.
Rutledge Tavern.
Thank you.
It's much cooler in here, believe me.
And where are they from? Because
Well, the Rutledge is here, and
Oh,
John
okay.
Miller, and they were,
Oh, okay.
they were some of my family here. Grandfather was, fourth great grandfather was John Miller.
There's what? It wasn't Renee. It wasn't. It was Bush. Some Bush.
He was a,
yeah.
yeah. And one of the relatives, the museum in Oakland, there's a big house that was a museum now that was part of the Cameron Stanford house for the Stanfords in San Francisco.
Yeah.
They lived up there, one of the offsprings off of the John Cameron
Would
here.
have been John Cameron's grandson, I think.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
Married a rich girl. Daddy
That was their wedding
Daddy,
present.
that was the wedding gift.
present. Wow, what a present.
$40,000 house back then.
Well, I talked to Hazel a while ago, and I said we'd like my wife. I said, I'd like not to spend on nothing.
Yeah.
She said, let's stay another hour. I was trying to put the
Must be hot having fur like that.
Ooh, look at this one over here.
Ooh, there's a little chipmunk or a squirrel back there on the fence too.
Mom, come on.
Is it Kirby anything?
G. Kirby Rutledge, whoever that may be. Ella.
Whatever. That river.
Doesn't look too good, huh?
The river is actually over there now. You used to come through here.
Oh, okay. See what's happening?
They were going to divert the river like all of them do. They blast.
They put it.
Cool.
Is there swimming? Oh, coming.
Yeah, I thought I spotted Mark Twain over there in the bushes.
I'm leaving.
be Hannibal. Is this Hannibal?
Yeah, we're in Hannibal.
Hannibal, Missouri.
Their license plates are boring. There's no pictures on them. Where's the good?
Might be better if they were just me.
Where's the good part of Missouri at? You know what? These kind of towns is what you see on TV. I thought that was fake. Guess not.
This is where Tom Sawyer was.
Mark Twain.
Mark Twain, whatever.
No wonder he wanted to move.
I say, man, this is kind of unique.
Yeah, I think we need to pay.
Somebody heard of pink down there. Whoa.
Oh, this is the better part now.
Now,
Uh-huh.
I can almost guarantee first one California from La Habra on Concourse Street.
Parents have during our Concourse house.
Miles, start changing.
What kind? Cooler? Good.
Low cooler. Even the ground and everything starts changing.
Good. I'm not
Green Outdoor Theater. Campground.
You got their own water slide.
And a go-kart track.
Their own, just a little bit more modern.
Topeka, Kansas.
Some people went forever, there would be no straightening done. In this case, since Edinburgh was now the county seat, we went there. It is also important to keep in mind that people who settled in Edinburgh took more land in other
Missouri, they sure talk with accents. Kansas ain't so bad, but Missouri, boy. Woo-wee.
Missouri.
Missouri, they say
Like in Keystone.
it's an accent. Missouri, they talk like.
I didn't hear it. That was cool. I didn't hear no Missouri accent.
You gotta some type of stuff instead of getting into some weird.
Hey, stay in the
Stay in the higher stuff. Stop. Close the door.
There's them rascals. Them cattle rustlers. Those cattle rustlers. Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
You a cattle rustler?
Ow. Hi. You got locked in.
Oh, great. Thanks.
See?
Why don't you open it?
Flash. That's how it lost its hair. What did they do? It smells like you too.
I bet you that gave a kick.
The size of the barrel.
I think those are
knows, Terry? Somebody could have just said that to make
Like
themselves
me.
famous.
Cool.
Look at that one. Cool.
Ooh, I like the green one.
Yeah, Tom helped.
Mom, want a log?
Cute.
Scandal would have to be background.
There's the sheriff. Or Wyatt Erwin.
I want to sit that close to my reading.
They got windows across there. Look out.
And welcome to Dodge. One never knows what's going to happen around here, so I'd like to ask all of you if you would just kindly clear the boardwalk and let's mosey over to the other side of the dirt track. Just a shake.
shoppers and ranchers in for a night to quench a hearty thirst, and some folks just pass the time of day. Yeah, but this town's got a reputation for wild times, lawlessness, and itchy trigger fingers. And I figure there's a reason behind all that. Some folks make a lot of stew about nothing. I mean, like a little scuffle among friends, an occasional conflict, argument, or misunderstanding. It happens all the time, but that's just the way life is in old Dodge City. And we just accept it. Let me explain something to you. You being different parts and all, you probably ain't used to our way of life. See that store 2 doors east of the Long Branch there? Well, that's on your right, folks. Well, one time I was, hold it. Don't nobody move. Looks like we got some trouble brewing. Hard telling what the problem is this time. Just stay put. You'll more than likely see what I've been talking about.
Watch it. Woo! Mister, what do you think you're doing? Hey, come. Free beer. Hey! Free beer? I'm talking to you. Hey! That's my beer, mister, and I want it back. What? I want that beer back. That is mine. I laid the money on the floor and you took it. Well, the bartender told me it was mine, mister. I want my beer back. Tommy wants his beer back. Well, just give it to him. Yeah, okay. Oh, you better get on this of it, man. What? Oh, come on. Whoop him. Get back in there. Come on. There you go. There you go. That's enough of that. Get off that horse. Come on, Get off that horse. Mr. Hood. You need to knock down. Whoa, back up. Say something, big boy. Get on. Come here, boy. Come on. Just have it done. Just have it. You might get hurt. First, sit back, old man. This ain't your fight. Hey, my fight right now, boy. How about you put that gun up? I'm worried about your shotgun. You probably put it broadside of that wagon over there. You want to find out? Let me tell you something. Little bad rooster here, huh? What do we got going on out here? What happened? You stole my beer. Put your knife back in. Set that shotgun down, hey, boy. What I mean, it looks all pretty much back to normal though now, don't it? Yeah, but I got a notion that rabble-rousers may be up to no good. Because of these types of carryings on, the law was instigated years back that the carrying of firearms in Dodge City by unauthorized personnel will be strictly prohibited. Well, of course, the law carries peacemakers. And generally every shop girl merchant keeps a pistol or shotgun hidden away for special or when the sheriff needs to round up a posse. There's always a chance the law's going to be ignored. And from the looks of things now, I'd say that the trouble ain't over yet. More than likely, somebody's going to end up getting hurt. Maybe.
I thought it worked all right.
At least they're dead.
What did I tell you? I don't even know some of these characters. But that's what Boone Hill's for. But like I said earlier, that's the way life is in Dodge.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for the Boone Hill Museum gunfighters?
Come back from the dead.
If you would like a photograph of the gunfighters, see any one of them right away, and they'll let you have one for just $1. 8 and 9, you'll be entering through the double doors of the Hoover General Store. Please wait for us to call your ticket color, section number, and row before coming up. There is no smoking allowed. Once again,
We're selling the rest of the garters, one more garter. Well, I'd like to say howdy. Howdy! You guys learned quick. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed your stay.
You're supposed to get them off the guy now if you want one.
Well, they
Well,
won't.
here's one variety show. We have some pretty music, and we got some pretty gals. And
Oh, yeah.
And, well, we got some pretty good bartenders, and, well, you guys look like a pretty good bunch of folks, so I think it's safe to say we're going to have a pretty good time. Yeah. Well, I'm not minding my manners. Well, my name is Mr. William Harris, and along with Chocolate Beats, and that's him in the picture up there, we own the Long Branch Saloon, and, well, we thought we should bring some culture and entertainment to town. Me and Choc and the bartenders, we didn't know anything about dancing, so we got ourselves some help. And boy, did we get help.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we did. Well, of course we got our dancing over here, but we thought we needed some more help, and I think you guys might have heard of her. Sometimes she's known as the Queen of Old Dodge City. And since no queen can be introduced without music, Annie, Sticks, and now, the Queen of Old Dodge City, the one, the only, Miss Kitty!
Y'all get a good look at my dancing girls?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I figured as such. Well, don't you worry, because they're going to be stopping by a little later to do some dancing for us. And, well, we're all just going to have a great time this evening. Say, you know, I think I heard a few of you were singing along with that first song there. So what do you say we try having ourselves an old-fashioned sing-along? How's that sound, Mr. Harris?
Yes, well,
I think great.
Just turn your programs to the back.
That's right. We'll start with the first song on your program.
Let's start with the top picture.
There is a tavern in the town. Let's see if we can't get the blood boiling on this one. Go ahead, Andy.
side and I'm on this side.
Hey, I think he's on. What's our wager here?
How about a couple sarsaparilla?
Couple sarsaparillas per person? Boy, folks, you better take a deep breath for this one. Go ahead, Andy. Let's do it. Perhaps we should discuss this after the show. All right. Hold off on that sarsaparilla, folks. Oh, I know, Mr. Harris. Sam! Oh, Mr. Harris, you don't mind if we do my very, very favorite song on the program, do you?
Let's get my favorite one.
Oh, well, I really want to do I've Been Working on the Railroad. Okay, folks, I've been working on the railroad. It's the last song on your program. What we're going to do here in the Long Branch, now I'm sure you all know this song, but here in the Long Branch we do it a little different. What we're going to do is when you hit the very high note of the song, you are going to hold that high note. How long? Till about Christmas sounds good. Now, folks, you might take a deep breath.
Since we're going to be having to hold them up on the long notes, I think we should start out holding with the big O.
You want to practice it?
O.
All right, Andy, give us a chord. Oh, one more time, huh? Well, you just sit back down and you enjoy the show, and just go easy on my girls, okay? All right, well, thanks for coming to the show this evening. Well, I will be. Boy, look who's sitting over here. So, Poker Alice. I haven't seen you for the longest time. Say, folks, you may not know about old Poker Alice. She happens to be the finest poker player this side of the Mississippi. As a matter of fact, the other side of the Mississippi. I see. Well, in fact, she is so fine that last week she almost won Mr. Harrison's poker game, didn't she? Yeah. She decided to fold. Well, I'm so glad you're here. You just enjoy the show, okay? Sure. Oh, good. long now. Boys, look at here. It's old Big Nose Cake. Big Nose Cake. See, everybody knows that you are Doc Holliday's best girl. See it. Hi, Doc, honey. So, when is he going to make an honest woman out of you? Oh. Is that a threat or a promise, huh? Okay. Well, that's all right. You just behave yourself in here tonight, okay? Oh, my. Big nose. Well, I thought that was you. Boys, it's old Moneybags McGee. How are you doing, Moneybags?
Just out spinning it.
Just out spinning it, huh? Set him up, boys. Moneybags just said he's buying the next round. God, what a generous man he is. Well, we're glad to have you here tonight.
Glad to be here.
And, well, see me after the show. Maybe you can make a little donation to my cause. How does that sound? All right. Well, look who's sitting there with the sheriff. It's old Ruby. Folks, Ruby is a part owner of the Alhambra Saloon, which is just down the boardwalk. Gonna run us a little competition, are you, Ruby? Oh, that's good. We're not too concerned. Everybody knows there's enough boys and Drews to go around. Sam, Ruby, just to show we're on friendly terms, why don't you just say hi to my boys over behind the bar? Boys, say hi to Ruby. Upshaw. No, don't try to act innocent with me. How are you doing, Upshaw? So when did they let you out of jail? Last night. Well, you came on down to... No, that's Upshaw. Trust me, and you know. I think so. Yeah. Well, see, I'm going to tell you a little story with Annie. Annie and I are going to tell you a story. You listen closely, and you'll find out how to stay out of trouble, okay? Yeah. You tried to kiss me, but I yelled for help. Only if you needed it. Oh, I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. I just couldn't resist that moment there. Oh, I tell you, that was pretty neat, wasn't it? Who's that remind you of?
Remember Hannah?
Even lovers wooing. These softly sighs. She rolls her eyes, and soon, just like a turtle dove, he is softly cooing. I said coo. It's the birds. On those ruby lips, I'd like to press a kiss, dear. One or two, perhaps a few. Could I hold you in my arms for a moment's listening? Now, Fritz, go ahead and put your arm around the little lady there. Just because she is a girl. If I should go, just think what you'd be missing. But on the breeze, from beneath the trees, came a noise that sounded just like someone kissing. Don't you worry, Sheriff, honey, this isn't the candy cane. We're going to do that later. Right now, we are going to raise the ruckus. Put your hands together.
This is a family show. You should change that rhyme.
Well, raise the ruckus tonight. Come on along, cowboys, come along. While the moon is shining bright. Oh, let's go on, just let's go down the road. Raise the ruckus tonight. Now, can't you hear that off the way? Raise the ruckus tonight. Sounds like that's a rolling trail. Raise the ruckus tonight. Raise the ruckus tonight. Well, get on up here and
Well, the evening was just perfect. The wind was a nice, cool breeze. I think, what, 45 miles an hour? Yes. Just not too windy, just right. And the river was beautiful, bone dry as it is right now. But anyway, it's still a lovely evening. Well, they were eating dinner, and Mr. Beasley's quite a sentimental fellow. You should get to meet him. He looked at his wife and said, "Would you please pass the sugar, sweetie?" Isn't that nice? Yeah, that's nice. I thought that was nice. Well, Mr. Tillman doesn't want to be showed up by, Mr. Beasley. So he looks to his wife and says, "Would you please pass the venison, dear?" Kind of play off. And then Mr. Harris decided to say something. He looked at him, he could have easily just been quiet and the evening would have been perfect for them. He looks to his wife and says, "Would you please pass the tea back?"
Without a song in their hearts, so what do you say we strike one up and